Hello and welcome to this special event about Husqvarna Autonomous Turf Care Solutions. My name is Andrew Lees, I'm from the UK and I'm extremely privileged to be your host for this special event. Over my shoulder you'll see the 9th hole of the Österreicher Golf Club here in Sweden, an extremely beautiful location. During this event we're going to meet lots of exciting industry experts from within the golf industry. So let's begin. So Magnus, firstly thank you very much for having us here at Österreicher Golf Club. It's a real privilege to be here. How are you?
Well, I'm good, thank you, and you're more than welcome to be here.
Can you tell me a little bit more about what you do here at Österreicher?
Yeah, I work here as a project manager, so taking care of all the new project we do. We've been in a big renovation phase here of the reconstruction of the golf course, and we're soon gonna open up the old golf course for another renovation. So
that sounds really interesting. I'm really keen to take a closer look. Should we go and have a look?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
So, Österreicher Golf Club, what sort of golf course do we have here?
It's a quite big facility. It's 36 holes, big practice areas. We got a par 3 course over there. We got a driving range on the other side, a couple of restaurants, and yeah, it's a nice place to be.
Beautiful place. Just taking a quick look around, this place is extremely impressive. In your opinion, what are the main factors that make a golf course good?
Yeah, we usually seems to like the grass quality is pretty much the most important thing for the golf play. Mm-hmm. But we have a lot of visitors here, so service is also one key factor that we need to fill up. And we're about 2,000 members in the golf club.
Wow.
So there's a lot of people in and out, and we want them to have a really good experience.
You mentioned grass there, and obviously you've got a lot of members as well. I'm interested to find out how you balance those two together. I can see behind us you've obviously got autonomous solutions working on the fairway here. How do you find that?
Oh, it's working really good. We're just trying out now and using the Ciora here, cutting half of this fairway. Which means one of the half doing with a regular mower and the other one is with the Ciora, and we don't cut it with anything else.
And the finish, it looks fantastic.
Yeah,
it looks just equally as good as a conventional machine. You
actually don't see any different, so it's really good. And we have a lot of auto mowers here already, so we do a lot of cutting with them.
So you mentioned Ciora, you mentioned Automo. I'm keen to find out a little bit more about the product. Should we go and speak to the experts?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Guys.
Yeah.
Hello guys.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you two?
Good.
I've got Magnus with me from Österreicher Golf Club here in Sweden. Oscar, Per, you're both the product experts, so we're both very keen to find out more about the benefits of Husqvarna Autonomous Solutions.
First of all, thank you for showing us this great golf course.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. Good to have you here.
Real nice. Nice, yeah. So with Autonomous Solutions from Husqvarna, we have a lot of different benefits for a golf course. It answers the labor issues that we've seen out there today in a lot of places, and also, of course, with the sustainability piece, it's really important on a golf course.
Yeah, I would add the weather. I mean, it can run day or night, sunshine as today, or rain. So 24/7 operation, no problem for autonomous solution from Husqvarna.
And it keeps costs down, especially on a golf course as well, right? We have these options are cost savers, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So Magnus, lots of obvious benefits for you, obviously.
Yeah, and we're doing a couple of them already today in the rough areas around the clubhouse, But we have a big facility. It's around 150 hectares. So if I want to bring them further out on the golf course, is it possible with a solar panel, or do I have to have an electrical wire out?
Normally they run on electrical wire, yes, but you can run them on solar chargers as well, and that's definitely going to be needed on a golf course.
Yeah.
I can see we've got 5 machines in front of us here. Why do we need 5 in the range? Is there a reason?
Every machine has its own purpose. We need different machines for different areas of the golf course. So our hero product is the Ciora, brand new. It will run on the main areas, main fairways and large areas, and then the other products are more complementary.
Exactly. So if you have steep hills, or if you have smaller areas, complex areas on your golf course, the other smaller machines would work even better there. And also around your clubhouse, you can have the different smaller alternatives there.
We have them like running around where the people are, and we don't disturb them at all. So it works really fine there.
Exactly. And the products are really safe as well. With the blade system we're using, blades are folds away and are really safe in that sense.
And obviously these machines are designed for professional use, so service is, I guess, is really important for you. Yeah. How easy are they to service?
Let's show on the Ciora. We have made a clever system around cleaning and maintaining the cutting system. So here the blades are easily removable for service. You can also wash the underside of the cutting deck really easy. So perfect for service.
Excellent. Good. And I have one burning question. You've got an extremely beautiful 36-hole golf course here. How many machines would it take to maintain this complete area?
We would have to dig into that in detail, of course, to know exactly. But as a general rule, one Ciora could cover perhaps 2 holes, both doing fairway and semi-rough and rough on the same machine. So we can lower the cutting height down to 10 millimeter for the fairway, and then all the way up to 60 millimeter for the rough. So 2 machines, then you need additional machines for the sideways, close to the clubhouse, etc. So it is a number of machines for a complete golf course as large as this.
Interesting.
And some of the mowers in the range can also work without wire in the ground. Typically we use a wire in the ground, but some works on satellite only, so which means that you can eliminate any wire in the ground, which is of course great for a golf course like this.
Yeah, it's much more flexible. Then you can have one mower traveling between different areas with quite big difference in distance apart.
So that must be a benefit for you, being able to cut the different areas.
Yeah, you give them more than one area to cut, so you save time, and time is money.
Yeah, and you can aerate in the ground without risking of damaging the wires. That's also a big advantage.
Oh yeah.
Oscar, Per, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Time to move on.
Once we started, the biggest thing was, because nobody really had any idea what was going to happen. But from my side, from the greenkeeping side, I was looking for the quality of cut, the quality of the turf. Was it helping my turf? And straight away you could see that the health of the turf and the quality of the cut in the turf was really, really good. So if I can do that and maintain that over 18 golf fairways, then the golfers can arrive and they'll be very pleased with the standards that they're playing to.
We started on 1 fairway on the 18th, and then we upped it to 2 fairways. It covers the area very quickly. Quite surprised on the accuracy. It's you know, when it's running on the GPS system, accuracy on the outside of the fairways for perimeter cuts hasn't moved.
I mean, it can come in and it does the fairways, and then it can go back and resets itself, and then it comes back and it does the semi-rough for me. So at the moment, I'm obviously very pleased. In the morning when I come in, I know I've got certain areas that we don't have to send people out to.
Ma foi, ça fait le travail, c'est grandement. En vitesse de travail, en d'exécution, des surfaces demandées, ça va très vite, quoi. C'est parfait en fait.
So some of the comments we've got from some of our players on the golf course is that, you know, obviously it's nice and quiet, that it's non-disruptive, and that's probably the biggest benefit going forward, not having diesel powered machines cutting in during the daytime when they're trying to play their golf. It should make for a much nicer experience for them on the golf course, just less noise and disruption around basically.
On a eu beaucoup de questions et le retour il est positif, il n'y a pas de retour négatif sur la présence de ces engins. En plus comme ils travaillent la nuit, donc ça permet d'arriver le matin, il n'y a pas de machine sur le parcours et c'est, encore une fois, c'est bénéfique pour tout le monde.
But I think because we don't want to have the Sioras or the mowers running during the day so the golfers can enjoy the experience of playing on the course without the mowers going round, I think we would probably either need 4 or 5 Siora mowers in the future.
We probably need 4 machines to maintain all of our fairways. So just looking at figures going forward, we run 2 fairway mowers at the moment. Man hours, we're looking at somewhere between 20 and 30 hours saving on man hours. Those 2 fairway mowers going forward, to replace those in the next couple of years will probably cost us upwards of £60,000 per machine. Each machine's running diesel, as well as the sort of maintenance and running costs, spares, bottom blades, downtime for grinding and stuff like that. So when you pile all that together, it's quite a big cost. Looking at the cost of Siora and the running costs in comparison to those machines, I think there's a considerable saving to be made as well.
I mean, we don't see this as trying to save manpower. We try to see that we can do even more attention to detail, smaller details, make sure other areas of the golf course are looked after.
I'm sure there are other products and other companies developing autonomous equipment, but it all seems to be based around a diesel or petrol engine machine, and it's noisy and it's loud, so it's limited when you can use it. And I think that's probably the sort of standout beauty of the Husqvarna auto mowers, because they're battery operated, there's no noise.
So I'm in constant contact with, 20, 30 people asking me, how's it going, is it running okay, is everything fine, what are you seeing? Well, I says I can be nothing but positive about what I've seen already. I said the biggest thing for me as a greenkeeper is the health of my turf, the quality of my turf, what am I producing for my members or my customers or whoever's turning up. And at the moment, the quality of cut is just fantastic.
Bien sûr que je la recommande et je l'ai déjà fait. Et puis on a de temps en temps du monde du golf qui vient sur le site et qui vient voir et qui est impressionné par le travail de ces machines. Et encore plus, encore une fois, avec le serroir qui est vraiment apporte là aussi une nouveauté et nous amène dans des domaines inexplorés jusqu'ici pour l'entretien de golf.
Yeah, I've spoke to lots of guys in the industry and said, look, it's real, it's there. It's just a case of getting it in place now and using it.
So tell me a bit more about the golf course. How long has it been here?
The golf course has been here since 1988.
Wow.
We did a reconstruction 2016 together with Henrik Stenson Golf Design.
That's impressive.
Yeah, so this side is new or 3 years old. So we brought in 100,000 truckloads of material and built a new golf course on top of the other one.
So originally this was completely flat and it's been landscaped to how it is now.
Yeah, so we did a completely reconstruction, new golf course.
So obviously Henrik Stenson designed golf course, you've got the 2,000 members you mentioned, 36 holes. That must be a real challenge for the greenkeeping team to keep this place looking so pristine. How do you manage that?
Yeah, we're eight staff year round.
Eight
full-time on the golf course. Mm-hmm. And then we gear up during the season up to maybe 25, 28 people. And of course we have 18 robotic mowers that help us in surrounding areas and around fairways and clubhouse areas.
So with those temporary staff, the 18 mowers must be a real benefit to support your operations.
Yeah, it is, because we can really focus on the things that takes time on the golf course. And now, and we also try and do some of the fairway mowings with them, we can find even more time for other things like maintaining the bunkers, the greens, and the other surrounding areas.
That's really interesting. I'm keen to meet one of your greenkeepers. Could we maybe just go and have a chat?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Okay, let's go find Eric.
Let's go.
Okay, Andrew, let's meet up a couple of the guys here. Here we have Eric, our course manager at Stroker, and Mats, head greenkeeper.
Nice
this
to meet
is
you both.
Andrew from Husqvarna.
Nice to meet you.
You too. What's this piece of equipment?
It's a moisture measurement for nutrients and moisture and
Okay.
different kind of things in the ground.
And this is obviously a part of your daily routine.
Yes,
I
it
presume.
is. Not every day, but a couple of times a week.
Good.
Yeah.
Beautiful day as well. Beautiful location. I'm interested to find out what's the best part of your job.
For me, it's being outside, working with this, create something every day.
How much roughly time would you spend when it comes to actually maintaining the turf?
Today we are 15 guys,
Mm-hmm.
working 8 hours at least every day, and 95% is just taking care of the turf.
So turf. You live and breathe
Yeah.
turf, obviously.
Yes.
7 days a week,
Yeah.
24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
And you've obviously also got 2,000 members who obviously want the place in a pristine condition,
We're trying, we're really
which
trying.
must put a lot of pressure on yourself and your team as well.
That's the part of the game, but we like it.
Yeah. And we know that you've got some autonomous products working
Yep.
on the golf course, so that must bring a benefit.
Yeah, absolutely. It saves a lot of time for us. I can put my greenkeepers in other jobs instead of just being cutting areas. They can maintain the bunkers, taking care of the surroundings, and make everything look a bit better every day.
And Magnus, a question to you. What was that thing that made you enter into using autonomous products?
It was a couple of different things that we looked at. One is to save time around the clubhouse, the restaurant first and 10T, where there's a lot of people all day long. And what we did before is we cut those areas last with rotors. Now we can do them with robotics. We got no clippings. We can clean less in the clubhouse because we don't take the grass with us in.
That's interesting.
There's also a safety thing of hitting a stone or a golf ball that could be thrown away and hit someone, and also the noise. There is silence around the clubhouse. So those aspects were pretty much what we're looking for. Yeah.
And coming back to you, Eric, what would your average day look like in terms of? I guess you must start quite early.
Yeah, we start between 5 and 6 every morning, and we work hopefully 8 hours. But we cut the greens every day. We change the pins every day, cut fairways 3 to 4 times a week, tees 3 to 4 times. So
that's intensive. And obviously you mentioned fairways there, and I presume robotics are able to help you
yeah, absolutely.
redeploy that labour onto other areas that maybe require a bit more time or a bit more focus.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really appreciate that I have time to maintain the other areas now than just being cutting.
I can see there's quite a few sloped areas here, so that must create problems when it comes to using, I guess, conventional machines.
Yeah, it's a big safety issue for us, that especially in the mornings when we have dew and the ground is a bit wet, the big machines can slip. And I have a guy on that, and he needs to see his family by the night, so the robotics is quite nice to have there.
It's around 15 hours every time we cut the fairway. 15 hours every time we cut the tees. And that times 3 or 4 times a week, so it takes a lot of time. And on 2 golf courses. 15 hours in one course. So
that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And if we look to the future and we look at robotics, what would your expectations be in terms of future products, or what would make your life easier?
No, but I like the idea that the robotics go out and cut everything during the night. So when we come in the morning, we can focus on other areas than just cutting, because then it's done.
Yeah.
Interesting.
More hours for the presentation for the golfer.
Yeah, making the bunkers perfect, surroundings perfect, everything.
2,000 members, there's a lot of people watching what you're doing.
Yes, that's
and
correct.
Making two with it, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much both. Really nice to meet you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I had a team meeting with my guys and said that we were going to have this machine in. A couple of the comments were, yeah, but fairways is quite a nice job to do in the summer. Kind of quickly reminded them how frustrated they get when they are trying to mow fairways and trying to dodge around the golf and the traffic in the daytime and stuff like that. And also just looking forward, you know, we have an endless list of jobs that we struggle to get to sometimes.
I think as soon as my staff found out that it wasn't going to be, it's not a cost-cutting exercise, it's not to save people, it wasn't hard at all. And like I said, they were obviously just the same as myself at the beginning, a little bit sceptical. Will it work on golf courses? Will it work on our course with all the trees and everything else that's going around? But they were, just like myself, very quickly, they saw the benefits that having these autonomous mowers could bring to us here on the golf course.
Les inquiétudes, c'était pas le robot, c'était surtout le personnel qui pensait être remplacé par ces robots. Or, c'est pas du tout le cas puisque ça nous permet, nous, de faire autre chose et se concentrer sur l'état de nos greens, justement, ou de nos départs, quoi.
So immediately, you know, if we were no longer cutting fairways 2 or 3 times a week, that could be immediately switched to divot repairing and just some of the detail work. Sometimes we just, you know, you don't quite get the time that you want to do on all the small things, but it's the small things that people really sort of pick up on.
You know, we have irrigation systems where we have our sprinkler heads and that all down the middle of fairways. We have them round greens. And then you can go in, instead of before we were doing them every 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, now we can do them every 10 days.
Ça a énormément d'avantages. L'entretien, ça demande quasiment aucun entretien et ça permet de mettre les équipes sur d'autres, on va dire, d'autres points d'entretien un peu plus qui demandent, on va dire, une intervention humaine et ça nous permet d'améliorer la qualité globale du parcours.
The early holes on the golf course are quite a bit hillier. And very often, again, because of mowing fairways, it's the target area for golfers when they're teeing off. We've got some blind tee shots where they play over the brow of the hill. So we have to be very careful when we're mowing those with a standard machine, trying to avoid golf. If you're coming up over the brow of the hill and the golf ball's coming towards you and the golfers don't realise you're there.
A good step for the future, you know. It's becoming very difficult to find staff for the golf course. So to have this ability to have the autonomous mowing is really helping us out quite a lot at the moment.
We all know that staffing is an issue in the whole world at the moment, and there doesn't seem to be enough staff, especially in the UK, for greenkeeping industry. If we were to build a pass recourse effectively, we would be looking at utilising auto mowers to maintain probably 80% of it. And they've embraced it. They're sort of starting to understand what the machine is doing and where the benefits would be going forward as well, and that hopefully it would free up more time to do more training and then broaden the horizons for the rest of the team really in their careers as well. The ability going forward to be able to come in the morning and have all of the fairways cut would be a massive benefit to our members. They just feel like they weren't being chased around the golf course by a couple of guys on mowers. So that's probably the biggest knock-on effect.
At the moment it's great, the golfers, they come, they're waving to you, they're saying hello, they're talking to you because they're happy with the golf course, and if they're happy and it comes to your staff, then the staff are happy with the work that they're doing and what they're producing.
Research is a key aspect of what we do here at Husqvarna and something we take extremely seriously. Over the 330 plus years of existence, we've used product research to make sure that our products meet our customers' expectations and demands. As we progress into the autonomous turf care segment, research becomes even more important with the types of customers that we target. I'd like to introduce Karen. Karen, maybe you can introduce yourself.
Yes, I can do that. My name is Karin Juhl Hesselsø. I'm a researcher at Nibio Landvik. We do a research project called RoboGolf, and it's where we compare the robotic mowers and traditional mowers on golf courses.
Thank you. Welcome, and welcome to Osteroka Golf Club. Beautiful location.
Yeah, it is really nice.
So I guess my first question would be, why are you carrying out this research?
Well, as turfgrass researchers, we noticed the increase in robotic mowers on private lawns and park areas, but the use on professional turfgrass like golf courses and football pitches is still limited. So we wanted to find out if we could get the same high turfgrass quality with robotic mowers as the usually mowers on golf courses. It's real mowers often on fairways and rotary mowers on semi-roughs.
Okay.
And also with less input of diesel and gasoline, and yeah.
So you're obviously based in Norway, so I'm interested to find out the type of conditions and environment that you're testing.
Yeah, we established some large-scale trials at our research station at the southern coast of Norway, and we use different turfgrass grass species where we compare the mowing regime with the robots and the mowing with the traditional or real and rotary mowers that's typically used on golf courses. And we maintain these areas, these research areas, just as a normal golf course with good greenkeeping practice. And in fact, we do also have demo trials, demonstration trials on golf courses in all the Scandinavian countries where there's a course manager who do the same, can you say, research on his own golf course.
So it sounds extremely comprehensive. Do you have any findings so far from this research that you could share with us?
Yeah, true. It's only preliminary because it's ongoing results, but we see the same high turfgrass quality with the robots as we see with you can say the normal or the traditional mowing on the golf courses. Especially with high rainfall and high growth in the grass, we see a good quality with the robots. We also see that the single grass species act a little different when they're mown by robots than by the ordinary mowers, and that's very interesting because then maybe we'll find new cultivars or new mixtures that's specially adapted to robotic mowing. We also see less diseases in the grass, but maybe also a little bit more weed plants, like for example white clover with a robotic mowing. But see what happens. We'll end next year with our results.
That's really interesting. Really good feedback. And obviously we're stood here in a beautiful golf course. What would your recommendation be to greenkeepers based upon your findings so far?
I know a lot of greenkeepers and they're busy people, so my recommendation would be that they should use their time they let the robots mow the grass and then they can use their time on other issues on the golf course and make a better quality on the golf course then.
There's some great feedback there from Karen from Scandinavia. Let's move across to mainland Europe and see what results we've got there.
Ich bin vom Institut für Landschaftsbau, Sportfreianlagen und Grünflächen an der Hochschule Osnabrück und wir beschäftigen uns in vielen Bereichen mit der Forschung rund um Naturrasen. Die Forschung rund um Sportrasen ist für uns wichtig, weil Sportrasen eine sehr intensive Kultur ist, sehr viel Pflege und sehr viel Nährstoffe und wir wollen das in eine neue Zukunft tragen und sehr nachhaltig mit diesen Fragen umgehen. Also die Nachhaltigkeit bei der Sportrasenforschung ist uns sehr wichtig. Im Landschaftsbau haben wir ja immer wieder die Frage, wie wirtschaftlich bestimmte Arbeitsmethoden sind. Und gerade die Frage nach Mährobotern ist hier eine wirtschaftliche Frage, denn Arbeit wird immer teurer und vielleicht kann hier der Mähroboter uns auch helfen, wirtschaftliche Lösungen für hohe Qualitäten auf Rasenflächen zu finden.
Die Rasenforschung generell beschäftigt sich natürlich mit den verschiedenen Rasenqualitäten, vom Hausrasen bis zum Golfrasen abgestuft. Wir haben bestimmte Funktionsflächen, gerade auf dem Golfplatz, Golfgrün, Spielbahn, Abschlag, Semiraff. Und das Besondere daran ist, dass wir in verschiedenen Teilen auch bestimmte Gräser brauchen, die diese Funktion überhaupt erfüllen können. Und hier gilt es besonderes Augenmerk darauf zu werfen, welche Gräserqualitäten wir hier nutzen können und auch von der Wissenschaft her zu untersuchen, wie wir sie am besten pflegen, sprich unterhalten können, also das Maintenance betreiben können, damit die Funktion täglich möglich ist. In der Studie haben wir eben verglichen herkömmliches Mähen, also Spindelmäher, Einsatz verglichen mit dem Automower. Hier ging es darum, letztlich die Qualitätsunterschiede festzustellen vom Hausrasen, also vom Home Lawn, vom öffentlichen Grün bis hin zur Golfspielbahn und auch auf dem Sportplatz. Und hier hat sich gezeigt, je seltener eine Rasenfläche gepflegt wird, umso mehr Qualität kann praktisch das tägliche Mähen mit dem Automower darstellen, also tägliche Qualität herstellen. Und je höher qualitativ wir Rasenflächen haben, umso mehr gleicht sich das an. Das sind also eigentlich keine Unterschiede mehr feststellbar.
Ich glaube, Mähroboter sind eine echte Alternative, auch schon heute, weil die Qualität wird nicht schlechter, sie bleibt gleich und wir sind sehr viel flexibler mit der Arbeit auf der Golfanlage. Und preislich ist es auch interessant. Also ich glaube, Golfanlagen mit Automowern, gerade Fairways, ist eine sehr gute Alternative.
Our research includes the use of automowers for the maintenance of ornamental lawns and sports surfaces. Our research facility falls in the transition zone for turf grasses, and we have to deal with both cool season turf grasses as tall fescue and warm season turf grasses as Bermuda grass. We have been testing automowers for 5 years at our research center in every condition. Not only you save time and respect the environment, but the turf is denser, finer, and uniform, always cut at the same height. My recommendation is absolutely to try robot mowers in your golf course.
Karen, some really interesting feedback there from the turf scientists, but what about probably the most important people on the golf course, the golf players? Have you had any feedback from them?
Yeah, the first year of the RoboGolf project we did a survey asking the players about their attitude towards the robots, and only about 8 to 10% had some bad experiences, but the majority was positive or neutral to the robots. They only ask for local rules for if they hit the ball or the robot hits their ball, then they are very annoyed about that. But you can get local rules for that on the golf course.
That's great to hear. Thank you very much, Karen.
Yes, the grass is mowed. And it looks beautiful, but I didn't know it was done by a robot.
Well, I think it makes sense. It's saved man hours, it's probably more efficient, it can be done at night.
But it seems like a great idea because then the mowers can do it really early in the morning and the greenkeepers could probably focus on other areas.
We can see on the course in total that people we have more time to go into the details.
And I think that it's very good for safety.
I already asked what happens if I hit them, and I'm really happy that nothing happens. I can do the stroke again.
I think it's just such a small object that can, for such a big environment, how can that possibly work?
I think it's the future. Greenkeeping is a very labor-intensive job.
From a player's point of view, if we can get fairways cut like that, we'd be very happy.
So we've spent a lot of time talking about the here and now. I'm very keen to look forward and look into the future and the very important topic of global warming, and be interested to find out from you, Magnus, the impact that has on the golf industry, and especially here at Ostroker.
It's always something that we need to keep in mind, and we're trying our best to do that in all the way. During the construction, we designed all the lakes to keep the water in, so we have water in-house.
So that water's used to irrigate the holes?
Yeah, and then also we see some challenging with prices of petrol, fertilizers. We try to balance that up with some of the robotic mowers to really find the way in. And,
you mentioned petrol there. Do you find that your members influence your use in battery products? Because there's a lot of battery cars out there now. And
yeah, a lot of them comes here with electric cars. So we actually invested in 36 charging stations during this winter. So now you could charge your car while you're here. And the next thing is solar panel for that, so we can have that in a good production. And we also have a small little funny thing here behind us. We have some beehives.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah, we have 2 members that's really focused to helping us with this, and all the money goes to the juniors in the golf club.
So supports their development.
Yes.
It's a nice story.
There's 2 more beehives up by the small houses down by the lake house.
So sustainability is a really important topic, and maybe we should dig a little bit deeper into that with our next guest. Hello Jonas, and welcome to Österåker Golf Club.
Thank you very much.
I believe you are head of sustainability. What does that mean?
Well, it means that I'm facilitating then the environmental and sustainability strategy for Husqvarna, including then activities, action plans, and making sure that we are working in a more sustainable way.
Excellent. We're going to speak a little bit more in a few minutes, but first I'd like to cross to another industry expert from the GEO Foundation. Hello Kelly, and welcome to this special event. You're from the GEO Foundation. Could you tell us a little bit more about what the foundation does?
Absolutely, thank you. We're delighted to be able to contribute. And the GEO Foundation is an international nonprofit. We were founded about 15 years ago with the purpose of helping the golf industry to accelerate sustainability in the sport and also through the sport. So we provide programs and recognition for professional players, associations, golf facilities, and golf tournaments.
So what is the goal, if you like, of the organization?
Great question. The aims of the organization and really our passion is to help the golf industry in its various parts of the sport to further improve its performance on the ground, so around sustainability and climate action, but also then to really try to lead by example and use a lot of the power that it has in terms of the reach and visibility to help inspire and raise awareness.
Why is sustainability so important for the golf industry?
Looking ahead, sustainability is an important consideration for the golf industry for a number of reasons. Some of them are risks, some are opportunities. On the risk side of things, the cost and availability of natural resources is changing all the time. So that's everything from fuel to land. So that's something to consider. There are also government regulations and target setting that is rapidly coming into play in many parts of the world. So also an important consideration. And then rising public expectations. So, very rapidly, a wide range of the population now takes sustainability and climate action into account when they're thinking about what they buy, but also when they're thinking about where they work and where they take their leisure activities. So without, done poorly or not communicated well, sustainability could be a risk for golf, but actually done properly, golf has an opportunity to really turn that to its advantage and continue to see the game growing and adding value.
And if we look at, I guess, what Husqvarna offer in terms of autonomous solutions and the battery products, what benefits do you think that brings to the journey that you're trying to create?
A lot, actually. So innovation is imperative to how society and the world are able to address the challenges that we're facing. And autonomous technologies are a really interesting category. So specifically, autonomous mowing has the opportunity to, if battery operated, has the opportunity to change reliance on fuels, which is a great part of the electrification of groundskeeping equipment. So that's an important thing to consider. And then also in terms of manpower or human resource, it makes a difference because then it frees up people to do other things in terms of course maintenance. And some of those things are actually, connected to sustainability. So there could be biodiversity projects, there could be further water and energy efficiency measures, education, all kinds of things that could be connected to just doing more and more.
Sounds really interesting. And one final question from me, and possibly a difficult one to answer. If you could look into the future, what would the ideal golf course look like from a sustainability perspective?
That is a good question. So we're in the future looking back. I think a golf course that is really just, golf courses around the world that are full of nature and full of people, both golfers and non-golfers, because a lot of golf courses invite other people onto the facilities. So full of nature, full of people, zero waste, running on a lot of renewables, really providing a hub for the community where people come together around health and well-being, and being a really positive contributor. And I think also, if we were to go forward and look back, I'd love for people to think that golf has really stepped forward in this space at a time when it was most needed and helped to drive change.
Thank you very much for participating in this event. Climate change is a real hot topic at the minute, and how seriously should we take climate change?
We should really take it seriously. The evidence is strong. Climate change is happening here and now, and we need to act on it immediately.
And as a company, what positive impact can we have on climate change?
What we need to do is provide solutions, the right solutions that is reducing the carbon footprint from products, from manufacturing, from suppliers, and so on, to making sure that we, in the entire value chain, are reducing the carbon footprint together with our customers. We do that jointly.
And you mentioned solutions there, and we've obviously got existing solutions that have a really positive impact. Could you talk a little bit more about what those products could be, or solutions?
Well, first of all, what we need to do is start to transition into battery technology. We know from different type of researchers that battery technology have a low carbon footprint overall compared to the petrol-driven products. So battery technology is very important.
And do we have any evidence to back up what you've just said?
Absolutely. What we do is so-called life cycle assessment. That means that we are evaluating then the value chain, including then the materials we use, what suppliers we are sourcing from, the distribution, logistics, manufacturing, the product use, the use phase, and end of life. And making sure that what we do is evaluating the carbon footprint during the entire value chain.
And obviously we're sat here in a golf course, beautiful surroundings. What products do we have that we can offer to make golf clubs make a more sustainable choice when it comes to the type of products that they use?
Well, obviously robotics. Robotics definitely, they are battery driven, they are zero emission during use, they definitely have a significant lower carbon footprint. Maybe more than 5 times low carbon footprint compared to equal petrol-driven product.
And if we look longer term into the future, what's our part, if you like? What's our strategy in terms of meeting those demands that climate change puts upon us as a company?
Continue to reduce the carbon footprint by developing more technical solutions like the battery technology to even further than lower the carbon footprint, but also include then and consider then the carbon footprint from other part of the value chain, including then manufacturing, sourcing, materials, etc. So continue the journey to cut carbon footprint all the entire throughout the value chain.
Jonas, look, thank you very much for your time. I think really great insights there and a really positive message as well, which is really important. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Let's shift our focus to the future. We've got lots of exciting, innovative projects happening right now in Husqvarna. And let's speak to one of the experts about one of those projects that we're working on. Okay, I'm sat here with Matthias. Maybe you could give a brief introduction.
Yes, my name is Matthias Damberg, working at Husqvarna Professional with business development.
Interesting. So we've been working on lots of exciting projects going forwards, looking at the future, and you've been involved with one very exciting project. Maybe you could give us a bit more information about what that is.
We call it Husqvarna Turf Cloud. It's a golf management system that includes drones, sensors, robotic mowers. And as you know, a lot of work at the golf course today is a manual. I mean, we use whiteboards, for example, writing up tasks for the day and so forth. This digital platform or system digitalize that so that you have a digitalized job board with all tasks of your staff. You can easily track cost and where people are spending their time doing different tasks, and also create reports so that suggests to you what you can do differently.
So in terms of, I guess on one hand it's labour management, but what else does it also look after the golf course itself? The turf gives insights into what the golf course is actually doing.
Yeah, the sensors and the drone images helps us understand where it's dry, where it's high temperatures, low temperatures, and so forth, to be able to be more efficient in how we work and how we use resources.
So it provides lots of insights.
Yes, it does.
Why are we doing this as a company?
We are serious about golf, and we are working with golf today with our robotic mowers to some extent and with our handheld equipment. But we want more, and this is one way for us to further get into the golf industry and make a change in how they're working, because by using Husqvarna Turf Cloud, potentially it's so great with saving time, cost, and in turn then create a better quality.
So it provides that holistic view of the complete golf course and the management of it.
Yeah, so an orchestrating role independently of what products they are using today, they can have a much better overview.
And the important question, when is it available?
It will be tested this year and next year throughout Europe, and I hope and my goal is to launch this in 2024.
Excellent. Matthias, thank you for those really interesting insights.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, at the moment, I think it's the biggest change that everybody's having is climate change. It's battling the weather at the moment. We're having very, very high extremes of different types of weather at the moment. So obviously that for a solution for the autonomous mowers as well. Instead of sending out a really sort of heavy, big machine, if you've had heavy downpours or thunderstorms or that kind of thing, the small mowers can go out, you see no damage, it can still cut, it doesn't leave a mess.
So environment and sustainability for us is, again, it's something that I'm probably becoming more conscious of myself than I ever have been. We're bringing in some experts to help us put some plans together and maintain what we need to do going forward. You know, if we create the right environment to grow turf in, then we don't need to be reliant on chemicals and other means to sort of maintain those areas. If we can create a nice natural environment, then hopefully it's less reliant on fertiliser, on water. So all those things are sort of spending a lot of time on that now to try and make the golf course more sustainable going forward.
L'industrie du golf va être confrontée au côté écologique des choses, c'est-à-dire moins de produits d'entretien, moins d'engrais, moins de consommation de gasoil, moins de. Et je pense que les robots Husqvarna, en l'occurrence, de par leur façon de fonctionner, à l'électrique, rechargés par le solaire, arriveront très vite sur beaucoup de parcours.
How can we improve? How can we help nature? How can we work towards it? Obviously we've gone as well here, we're plastic free. We're trying to do that with the golfers as well, with refillable bottles. We have our biodiversity areas for bees and rabbits, hares, that type of thing as well on the golf course. So we are aware that we need to be blended in, as well as our golf course is sort of not natural, but we are in the nature. So we try and make sure that we can work together, that we don't want to have really, that we're all trying to get away from at the moment to try and reduce our footprint. Obviously the autonomous mower helps that as well. I mean, just last night our president was telling the members that by 2024 we want to try and cut all our fairbase with the autonomous mowers. So the club are really behind trying to bring this project right to the end.
Les défis sont multiples. On a déjà tout ce qui concerne le respect de la biodiversité, la limitation des produits phytosanitaires. Donc ça nous amène à chercher des nouvelles solutions d'entretien et les robots nous apportent des solutions. Les fairways que l'on a, sur lesquels on a installé les robots depuis un an, on a été les plus beaux et ceux qui avaient le moins de maladies. Donc c'est clairement une solution. Après, il y a la partie énergie également qui va devenir importante dans les années à venir et là aussi le robot nous apporte ces solutions.
If we were to build a pass recourse effectively, we would be looking at utilising automowers to maintain probably 80% of it and only using staff to maintain greens effectively. So yeah, that's something, and it would be a pass recourse designed with automowers in mind right from the start, so it would be built and designed with the infrastructure for that. So that's something that we're working on at the moment, and I think that would give us a 27-hole capacity. It give us the ability to have a few more members, which is always good for business.
Okay, we are coming to the end. I'm joined again by Magnus and also joined by Andreas, who is GM here at the golf club. I hear you've won a special award, so maybe you could tell me a little bit more about what that means and what that award was.
Thank you. I was rewarded the Club Manager of the Year, and it's all about, I mean, the teamwork we are doing here. It's not a one-man show, it's about the team. And of course we have the robots as well here.
Congratulations firstly on that. Great achievement, I'm sure.
Yeah, thank you.
I've got a question to both of you. What does the future look like here at Österåker?
Well, we're trying to get this as a green oasis that's just growing into the community. Like the city is growing on this direction, and here's the golf club. So we're trying to have it around the golf club, and we're trying to get more people to see us, to come and visit us, even if they play golf or if they want to play paddle or just be guests in our restaurants or whatever. We want them to be here, and also for the children's. It's very important.
From your side as a GM?
I mean, we want to continue the amazing journey we are doing and keep on going forward on that one. And like Magnus said, the family is so important for us. That's the future. So.
And obviously, autonomous. You've adopted the technology. It's a big change. What would your message be to the viewers regarding that big step forward?
Like, don't be afraid to try it. It's very, very cost effective. You see it fast. Don't forget, it needs maintenance. Even if it's a robot, you need to take care of it. Otherwise, you will have that on the sick list too. So you need to spend some time with it. But take the chance, do it. You will get the money back. And for us, it's really giving us a lot of hours for our co-workers to do other things that makes this presentation even better. So easy choice for us.
Great to hear. Firstly, I want to say a big thank you to both of you for hosting us. It's been a real pleasure spending time here. What an amazing place you've got. I've really enjoyed learning more about your role and meeting your employees. So for me, I've learned a lot of things during today. And I'd like to thank all of you for viewing this broadcast. Hopefully you've learned lots like I have. It's been a real insightful journey. And I'd like to say a big thank you to you all, and goodbye.